Every Tuesday and every Thursday.
Hey,
tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank and Christina Carter. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank and Christina Carter. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's when we can kick every Tuesday. Everything is going down. Thursday. They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, the Roy Anthony Show. It's during the week, homie. The Roy Anthony Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a tap in before we gotta tap in. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Every Tuesday.
You know what, man? With being comedian Roy Anthony, you know, I was the number one headliner. With me living in Long Beach, all of my neighbors, all my friends and stuff, they all respect me, they love me. The business point, you see we are here on 4th Street in downtown Long Beach, east side Long Beach area, the way you want to say it. And I just always feel free and stuff, like how different people love me, loves to talk about me, loves how Roy Anthony is and stuff. So won't y'all come with me? My neighbors love me, man. All the business owners is like, what's up, Angel?
Fuck you, man. You're in your bullshit again. We want to see you here again. Hey, man.
Good. Matter of fact, I see one of my good neighbors now there. Get Mr. Tommy.
Fuck you, nigga. Fucking with a motherfucker early in the morning, ain't had no pussy. Oh!
Hola, mija. What's up, big homie? What's up? That's my man Noodles. What's up, Noodles?
Fuck you, Roy Anthony, man. Get out of here, man.
Hey, y'all, welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. As you can see, that I have to be able to run my show and work at the same time and stuff. Don't worry about the cones or everything. You can see I'm a working man. I'm doing my comedy, mobile units. You can call me for your parties or if you need plumbing issues or any type of fixtures. What it do, what it do, what it do. What's up, Miss Joy?
What it do, honey love, sugar full sweet face.
All right. We be loving with Miss Joy. She be always like when she talk to you, she like, hey, what's up there, sugary lips?
Right. How you doing, honey?
Oh, I'm doing great. How you doing? I see you got Cynthia Joy, aka SNU.
Yeah, I had to switch it up.
Hey.
So let me clarify that real quick. I had to let it be known on my show too, because nobody knew my name was Cynthia, and that's because for a long time I was kind of ashamed of that name because it represented my mother who died from drugs, and I had a lot of hatred from my childhood of the things that happened. So I didn't really like to honor that name much. But as I grow and the more I learn and develop as a woman, I know what it means to go through things. And I realize I don't understand her story and what she's been through. So I can't judge her actions because she had her reasons. So now I understand her on a different level. So now I honor my queen because without her, there'll be no me. So that's what Cynthia Joy is back on the scene.
Hey, that's right. That's right. Now, just picture me and named Roy coming in the neighborhoods. Oh, my goodness. It seemed like everybody always had to have around. Oh, Roy, my boy, play with toys. Don't be coy, bro. Oh, my goodness. And I was named my mother's uncle
worked for Roy Rogers as a cow, as one of his hands. So he told Roy Rogers he was going to name his first son after him. He never had no kids.
Okay.
When my mother got pregnant with me, I was Roy when I was 3 months.
Okay.
And so then growing up and stuff, Roy the cowboy and all that. But I want to tell everybody what to do, what to do, what to do. Welcome back to the Roy Anthony Show. We have our co-stars be coming in. Cynthia Joy is already in the house. We'll let Hurst be coming in. Big Hank always do something for the church and stuff because he's ours, and then he comes in and then Christina Carter become popping in pretty soon. I was going to, matter of fact, I'm glad Carl just jumped in. He said, "What up, y'all? Actually, get to listening today, working in the shop with my wrenches and hard hand, baby. Wait a minute, with my wrenches in hand, baby. That's how he said it. Working with my wrenches in hand, baby.
Let's go, Carl.
Then
Good
say, Carl,
stuff.
remember, I'm trying to, I need to give him the invite. I would like to see if he'll come in Thursday and stuff because I am going up there to Seattle. And I may not be for that event, but I'm definitely going up there because I was telling Richie King that I wanted to go. If I don't make it to their event, I'm going sometime in August because I want to be at their podcast because I really push the BB Nation. They support what we do, and I feel like I got extended family. So I have definitely we've been trying to figure out how we can get to that one event, but it seemed like it may be if you don't there for the whole package. But I want to be with Carl Loomis. I want him, J Dub. Um, 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 they got some more, so I just want to get to really kick it with them. And my childhood friend lives in Seattle, so they said when I go up to Portland, then I'll probably travel up to Seattle and come on down. But anyway, this is Roy Anthony Show. This is part of the WO Network, it was created by my man Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, who celebrated their 20-year anniversary. And I had the man of all times, and I've been talking about that. They was having this big party celebration this past Saturday evening, and it went across. I heard that they had a good time. Didn't you ever miss something in the people call you back and like, hey, man, we had a very good time. But Richie King, want to give a shout out again to him and his beautiful wife for the 20-year anniversary. The co-creator Goose. Um, um, we got Blue Phoenix, who's our social producer, another warrior. She has been in full remission of her cancer. Um, she was stage 4. They gave her only so much time to live 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And it's full remission. Me and Big Hank would be on here still praying. We would be praying, calling it out. Our other social producer, Athens. And then we have our sponsor, Matthew Brooks. Then we have our good neighbors. Like I said, the BB Nation, got the VRS, it's Veteran Syndicate. It's around the U.S. And then our true dear friends and family who listens in. Carl said, brother, you got extended family up here, brother. You know what I'm saying? I believe that for real. And I look forward to seeing him and his babies. Kids love me for real. I'm nothing but a big kid. But I'm, it's innocent fun to play with the kids, but I'm very protective over making sure I carry myself correctly. You don't sit little kids on your lap. If you pick them up, hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't let them, I don't try to let my good be spoken evil of. And but I really got so much stuff. I've been talking to Richie King and then to our team on the side about I want to go up there and I'm going to kick it with them. If I had to be, I want to go to their podcast and kick it with them and stuff, right? And this is I've been feeling this. I was telling Richie, and I know you think about it too, Joy. That I want to be able to where like other people who support us and tunes in. Even we had a studio. I want to be able to go to their spot and sit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get an Airbnb. I don't want nobody to get uncomfortable, have to get out their home, but I want, I do want to do this and stuff. And we got a video we're gonna show, but we wait for everybody to get in. It was sent a video of a bishop that got robbed in New York while he was preaching and stuff, right? But why would he have $1 million worth of jewelry on? So we're gonna show that video. And today's subject where is talking about how many times do you supposed to turn your cheek?
That's a real question.
That's the subject. How many times you supposed to turn the other cheek?
I don't think it's a number to it. I think it's a feeling. Because I think everybody can get pushed into a corner and then they come out a different person once you push them into that corner.
Well, you're right. But I'm just saying this, the word of God said, if someone's after you, turn the other cheek. Which
he didn't smite a few people.
Huh?
I said he didn't even smite a few people who didn't get beside themselves.
Well, you know what? I look at it like my grandmother said. I was a kid, and she was the pastor of the church I grew up in. I asked her one day. I said, "Hey, Nana, you was preaching because I got into it with this boy, and it was the following after she had the sermon about turn the other cheek. As a kid receiving it, I'm like, okay, so the dude hit me." And I was like, well, I will not hit you back. Well, you're all right. And he was like, bap, 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 bap. Now I'm like confused. So I go to my grandmother. I said, hey, you was preaching about turn the other cheek. I said, but what if you turn the other cheek and they hit you into that one? She said, baby, that's when you ball your fists up in the name of Jesus and try to knock him out in the Holy Ghost. For real. So because turning one cheek is being rational. But God didn't say be no fool.
Exactly.
God done put my hands into some Bruce Lee times when I had to, you feel me? But he never told me to run. So when I told her that and stuff, man, I went to school that next day, I was making cats turn their other cheeks and stuff. But in our society, like the schools, they be trying to teach the kids, don't handle it yourself, go to a teacher. I had a principal come to me because my son got suspended for fighting. He just started high school, 9th grade. And the guy came in there and I said, he said, the guy hit him and he started fighting him back and he got the best of him. I said, well, that's what he's supposed to do. He said, well, not at the school here. What we try to do is tell him to go tell the teacher. I said, man, what neighborhood you from?
Right.
One, we ain't gonna put that snitching moniker on them from the beginning. Two, I've taught my kids, if somebody hits you, you better hit them back. If you can't get them with your hands and they coming at you, you better pick up a rock or a stick or use your belt. You don't just let somebody just hit you and just say, oh, I'm gonna go tell the teacher. He was about to get clowned at my home if he came home and said, Dad, this guy hit me and I went to the teacher and told him. I'd be like, hey, we're gonna have a long talk. Come in. You feel me?
Right.
What you teach your kids?
The same concept. Don't be no fool. Don't let nobody abuse you, period. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You ain't just gonna let nobody hit you. So always defend yourself. I teach them don't throw hands first, but definitely if you need to defend yourself, do so. So I teach them respect is earned, not just given. So anybody can't just talk to them any kind of way, because even if you're an adult, you can't just come at my kids reckless and think that they're going to bow down to you. Of course, they're going to come to me. They ain't going to disrespect you, but they also ain't going to give you that utmost respect because that's not what you're giving to them. So,
yeah. And that's interesting. And I brought it up like this because we're talking about in our base home at first.
Right.
Even what we teach our kids, right? How we teach our children, we teach them, about how to deal with that, which is turning the other cheek. But now it leads up to where, like, what happens when you leave out of your door? What,
Well, you
like,
can't protect them from everything. We know that. And you're gonna have situations when you leave out the door and mama ain't around to protect you.
yes,
So I teach them that everything don't deserve a reaction.
yeah.
So some things is just ignorant and you gotta ignore it and turn them, go the other way. Completely go the other way. Don't even subject yourself to that type of energy.
But,
So some things that you can not deal with, make that choice and don't deal with it. If you see as a group of niggas on the corner or whatever, don't walk that way and anticipate nothing's gonna happen if you know where you are. But where I live, we don't have that issue because there's no
but see,
situation like
there's a
that.
difference. See now, Joy,
It's a
you
difference
grew up
depending
in
on where you live
Chicago.
at.
You grew up in Chicago,
Yeah.
where you knew how to, what it took to survive. Well, you got
Right.
Miss Willette, she's in the house. And so what's up with you, Miss Willette Hurst? And so,
Hey, Sugarfoots.
What's up,
all
sweet
right,
face
what's
honey
up with
bun?
you? Hey, what we were just talking about, Willette, it's good seeing you and stuff.
Good seeing you too, bruh.
She be saying that the light, your window is open in the back.
That is not. It is not. Is cracked, but the light is from.
Oh, is that for real? She said that's not the light from the sun coming through her windows. That's
That's
her.
That's
it's called.
Jesus right
That's
there.
called the anointing.
Oh, okay.
Tell him, Joy. Tell him,
Oh,
Joy.
I believe you. You don't have to convince me. I believe you. And stuff. Hey, Mark, we was bringing up though, before we go farther about turning the other cheek. How did you teach your kids at home about dealing with turning the other cheek, especially with pressures? Before we go on,
Me?
yes.
Well, so I would tell my kids to turn the other cheeks, but they work together. So my oldest is 25 and my youngest is 25 and my oldest is 28. So they will work together and be convinced to do some stuff. Like behind your back, like if my son had trouble at school, he would call his big sister and I'll be picking him up from school. And then they have some plan, and then they go into the school and handle it. And I don't even know nothing about it.
Well,
So,
yeah. But you told them, see, we were just talking about that ourselves. And so we was just disclaiming about how we teach our children about, when you're dealing with turning the other cheek, right? Now, when we deal with society, and not just our kids when they go into society, ourselves. I remember when I was, younger, when I was a kid, somebody could say something about my clothes or something like that, and it's going to trigger me to say something back and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they say turn the other cheek, I was telling them how my grandmother had preached. I got into it with a boy one time. And then it was like, hey, I said, well, if they hit you in your other cheek, and she said to ball your fists up and in the name of Jesus and try to knock them out with the Holy Ghost. That's what she told me. Now, my question is, how do we do with that same thing in our society?
Well, in society, we older now. So the things that we were taught as a child, although it plays into us as adults, we get to make a choice what is worth it and what's not worth it. So you get to choose when you're gonna turn the other cheek. And I think it depends on what's happening, what's being addressed, because things that's being said we don't care about as much as we did when we was kids, because we know that words have no power over us unless we give it to them. So that don't affect us like it would. You know what I mean? It won't affect us like it would if somebody's literally coming at you and you ain't turning no other cheek. You about to knock the hell out of somebody because they coming at you.
I see
so
Big Hank's in the background.
I think.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Joy. I was
let
listening.
hang through. Let them come through.
Come on,
Yeah,
big
he's
brother.
trying to do something. Big Hank is in the house. What's up with you, bro? How you doing?
Good. What's happening, y'all?
Come on through, baby. What it do, honey bun?
What's happening, baby girl? What's going on, man? I love y'all, man.
Yeah. Hey, Big Hank, we've been on the subject about when do you about turning the other cheek. Now, before we go into the main subject of society, I was asked each one, how did you teach your kids about turning the other cheek? Especially I was
Tell you
gonna
right
grab.
there
Look,
how he talk.
look.
He laughed.
No, because we didn't get that far in the Bible with my kids. We didn't get to that part. We didn't get to that part.
This gangster was still right there.
We
We didn't get to show up
that
yet.
part. We didn't get. We still haven't got there yet to that part. We just now opened the book to that part right there. And my kids is grown. That kids is grown now. I don't remember telling them to turn no cheeks when they was little. We was telling them to fire back. Fire back. Quick.
Just say that. Look. Hey, I said
Okay.
the same thing. But one time, my son, they had him held over at Camarillo before they put him over to Poly. It was an overflow. So he got into a fight with another boy. I'm not going to say, what nationality, but you know how that goes over there.
It was Cabrillo. It was at Cabrillo.
Yeah. So he got into it. So the vice principal and them called me up and stuff, and they want to talk to me about how showing the video.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, how did it start?
Right.
He said, well, the boy hit him first. And so I said, okay. And he said, well, we expect for our students if somebody to come tell the teacher. I said, man, not in my household for one.
We'll do that
my
here.
son, you ain't gonna get no snitching tag on you as a youngster. Second, I told him, I said, if they have taught to defend themselves, if the guy's big and you can't get him with your hands, you better pick up a rock or a stick, or you get a belt as nunchucks. Literally, I showed him for real. But
matter of fact, don't get hit. Put your left hand up, block his right hand, catch him with your. Don't get hit. Yeah, don't get hit. Block that shit, man. Don't be letting niggas just walk up and steal on you.
Yeah,
crazy.
That part.
Block that shit and come with the right, nigga. Don't be nigga. Do your shit.
That sounds like me. Real talk.
There was some stuff I taught him that I had
to.
That's that Chicago.
Yeah, that's you got that Chicago on the streets of Long Beach and
all of y'all up
in here.
Hey, you heard me.
Hey, we don't start fights, but we finish them. We don't start them, but we finish them.
But see, now we get that with our children, and this is us governing our kids. Now, how do we deal with this when we coming into society? Like, man. I would tell anybody, if you get a chance, people have heard me discuss about what some of what our blacks went through after the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the things that's always befuddled me is that usually to conquer is to run stuff. Whoever conquers sets the rules.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that baffles me after the Civil War. When it came to blacks, like, why didn't we just say, hey, okay, we out of here. We helped you win your war. Let's get these ships. We out of here.
Where were they going to go?
Back to Africa.
They wasn't never from Africa.
That's what I'm saying. So somebody said, we're going to win this war for you. And when Frederick Douglass came, he's an abolitionist to Abraham Lincoln. He said, if we win this war for you, what we get in return?
Right.
Equal opportunity as an American. You get 40 acres in the middle.
Right. Now let's go there though. Let's get that out the way. That's written down. That's written down somewhere. And they ain't did that. Yeah, they ain't did that one.
And I like to tell people, I cannot stand this information. One person to put it up, stand in the pulpit or something and tell a lie, and that lie will run and stuff. The Civil War was never about slavery. Let's get that correct. It was about imports and exports from the South. The South was garnishing a lot of money with the cotton, with our harvesting of foods, and then they was bringing in trading from other countries. The South felt that, look, we making our own money, we set our rules and stuff like that. They was calling the Northern pansies. So the war started when slavery wasn't even involved with the Civil War. And the North was getting their butts kicked. Frederick Douglass say, hey, I can help you win this war. It was going to take the entitlement of freeing the slaves. Abraham Lincoln wasn't really adaptive to freeing those slaves. He come up from them country spots himself. But he's looking bad. So he brings in and so the blacks. You seen the movie Glory and stuff like that. So I've always been doing my research of what happened after the Civil War. Now I'm gonna tell you, there's a movie I would tell everybody to go watch. That's the best signification of what happened after the Civil War. It was done by C.D. Portier, and it's called Buck and the Preacher. Buck and the Preacher. If you watch it as we as adults watch that right now, I would tell you all our neighbors. You watch Buck and the Preacher, and that's based off of true facts.
That's one of my favorite movies, man.
Yeah, these people was going to find them some land. They left slavery, and they was the people who ran the plantations was coming out and burning them up, burning their covered wagons up, shooting them, trying to make them feel discouraged on trying to go somewhere else and come back to working on that plantation for free or the amount, because now the money system is going down. Because I've been incorporate. I worked, corporate most of my life, and when the corporate heads don't get their certain amount, let's say for instance, we get 10K a month from just being part of this board. If our money start coming down to like where they gave me $8,500, you're like, hey, I'm supposed to get 10K? What's up with the other 1,500? They said, well, we got some employees now. He's like, well, somebody's gonna have to leave because I need my 10K. That's how it does. So the plantation said we was making a lot of money without paying labor. We need to get them back. It's just like what happened with Amazon of today. They was mad that they came union.
So what you saying? They reneged on the deal?
They reneged on the deal.
Okay.
And so then I say to myself, okay, now let's come up to modern. Okay, the slavery ended in 1897. And that's the year that Texas, after 3 years, Texas took 3 years before they
to find out. So it really was 1896, 1894. It really was 1894.
Exactly. But they had found out in 1894, but they like forget that. Forget and all that.
Yeah, we ain't listening to nobody.
Exactly. Well, okay, let's push it all the way up now. Then the churches are established. There's churches I've seen, African Methodist Church established since 1905, 1910, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. It's 100-some years.
And they ever did nothing.
Ain't did nothing. Where's the infrastructures? You in the church, we going to mega churches while they complain about what the white folks done did. Where's the plan, dude? I blame the past 100 years on the black churches. If I tell you this, if St. Luke's Holy Baptist Church was established and had the type of monies, you don't think we'd have a company?
Yeah.
Big Hank is working for them.
Yes, sir. And we working towards that.
House and stuff.
But you guys are a different breed of Christians, though. You guys are a totally different breed.
I don't even look at it as a different breed of Christians. I look at it as a different breed of people who really believe in Christ compared to
same thing. Same thing. Though.
Christianity is not a religion.
No, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, religion is when you go into this and you ain't doing no power. Like 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter said, many are godly, but have no power.
No power.
Therefore,
and that's what's
men run away from them.
Yeah.
God told us to be fishers of men. How can I relate with someone unless I tell them? This pastor one time back in the day, Big Hank, he was living with his mother, but he was pastor of the church. And he asked me why I can't take his leadership. I said, you live at your mama's house. I done been through the streets and been there and beyond. What you gonna teach me?
What, you got a church full of niggas that live at their mama house? You got a church full of niggas that live at their mama.
Yeah.
Because you can't teach no higher than that. You can't go no higher. You can't teach me nothing higher than that, man. I don't believe it. I don't see it in you. I can't. Yeah.
Exactly.
They can't.
Right.
They can't.
Right.
We're the type that we
limited.
What you say, Miss Willette?
You limited, like he said, he couldn't take you no higher than where he's been.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to come down.
Yeah.
See, we talk about passing the other cheek. We gotta turn the other cheek.
So
But then what are we, insane?
No.
We turn the other cheeks every day, whether we believe it or not.
I want to say something about that though. He did say just turn the other cheek. He didn't say turn another cheek and another cheek and another cheek. One, you got one shot, nigga. You got one shot. If I give, and that's if I give it to you. You got one shot.
That's the part. If you're saying that's the part I'm saying. Okay, you got one shot. How many times over and over and over we seen, like, I feel like after the Civil War, the Declaration of Independence should be rewrote. We're trying to hold something that be true, which is not true since 1776. It wasn't true when they wrote it. I don't want the cats that, and I feel like our government is not what they call transparent. I think lawyers should be just like what we need for legal stuff. Write up what I'm trying to say and put it in that legal therefore and wherewith and all that stuff. That's what we're good for. Setting up our laws, sitting back, and they don't follow the laws themselves. I'm looking at what's her name, Nancy Pelosi. Her husband constantly doing drunk situations. It ain't the first time. How you gonna help America? You can't help your own household.
And listen, man. I know you're talking about the government, man, but they set the government up so that they can win. They didn't set it up so we can win. They didn't set the government up.
They set up for the government
up. So when they mess up, they still can win, and that's how it is. If like that'll be just like if me and you and us four set up a government right now, we'll set it up towards the stuff that we like. You know how we get out.
And we try to be where you're right.
Try to be right.
We got to be where it's not biased.
Right.
It's not just for us. Look at me throwing some words. I threw a word in. Big Hank did.
You did that. Right. Okay. I jumped on you with that. I jumped on you with that one. That nigga said you can't be biased. I thought you almost said you can't be bypassed. I almost thought you said that. I was like, I was finna get you. I was finna get you.
Sure my words are correct when I'm around. The USC alumnus. He knows his words.
And so Roy, listen, just one last thing. They got the lawyers. They got the lawyers to change it, but the lawyers is on their side too. So they got. So they ain't.
Most of the Senate is lawyered up, right?
Money.
What gets me is when, like, I sent out a little thing on Messenger and it was funny, and it was talking about former President Donald Trump and the coup. Well, some people is trying to say that it was fake. It was no fake. I got somebody who was right on hand there. They went and they didn't even go in the yard part. They just wanted, and they said it was not fake.
No, it wasn't fake.
But no, it wasn't fake. People, I don't know why people think that the government, no matter if it's Republican or a Democrat, because I'm free American. I'm not neither one of them. I can be swayed. That means I vote for what I think is good, not just for me, but for the rest of
the country. Yes, sir.
The thing is that this whole thing's a mess.
Yes.
I wouldn't have voted for, like, when 2016, I didn't vote for Hillary or Donald Trump. I wrote in Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders, to me, is the states are doing what Bernie Sanders is one who compelled about making it legal as far as marijuana. States are making money off of marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
They're helping with jobs, like the state of Washington. I love what they do. They take their money and actually help you get a home. They actually help you get some stuff started, right? But one, I want to tell everybody who's listening, stop talking to me about politics. I'm not a President Donald Trump fan. I'm not a fan of President Barack Obama. I'm not a fan of none of that. And I can explain for real. I'm not. You can say oh, he gave health care. He was the first black. Okay. Didn't have nothing to do with me. For real. The bailout stuff, if we had a company and it goes down, for what I'm gonna bail it out for?
Hey, did you see Donald Trump trying not to say the words that they was trying to give him to say when he was supposed to do the speech? He said he's so retarded. They were saying, and so it's the voting is over. The voting is over, and the presidential election is over. He said, "No, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that it's over. I just want to say that they."
Yeah.
You can't control him.
Look, I don't know why they think I don't care about none of that. Let me tell you something. I don't see why our country, which is based off of our generation, this whole America now is based off of what Generation X. It wasn't the Leaving Beaver people that came up with the cell phones, the freedom of expression of mail, emails. Now I don't even think the last time I bought a stamp.
We came up, our generation came up with that big ass computer. What was that big ass Xerox computer?
But we started with something.
We were doing this. We were doing this.
I remember they showed
it. Ain't some people still doing.
Yeah. And see what I'm saying is look, all of a sudden we give respect with everybody else. I like this dude.
But we don't give respect for ourselves.
Yeah. But there was a guy in Michigan, Mr. Willette, and the guy was he was talking about how when President Barack Obama got elected, he said, man, it was like going to the beach. He said, next thing you know, it was 8 years. We had more blacks going to prison in them 8 years. You can look it up yourself. I dug it up. You know, I'm a researcher. Between his era of presidency and through Bill Clinton's presidency, we had more blacks going to prison than any time. In former President Barack Obama's term, they started sending guys with misdemeanors to prison. Now, when the vice president now, I've been having a problem with Kamala Harris since 2009 when Oscar Grant got shot at the Fruitville station, and she didn't want to prosecute the guy. She sent him down to LA, and then when a cop slapped her at the court, she didn't press no charges. That's when the ACLU got mad at her. Then I look at former president, I don't look at the taxes, I look at President Joe Biden, who was the actual architect for the crime law, the crime bill. Look, they said, this is how we're going to fight crime. If you got just a smidget of dope on you, going to prison. They didn't do that with my man who plays Iron Man and Sherlock Holmes. He got caught in my apartment with 7.5. What's his name? Robert Downey Jr.
No, they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They didn't do it with Martin. They didn't do it with Martin Sheen. None of them cats. Joe Biden's son always keep him some cocaine on him. You could catch him right now. He got some cocaine on him.
Yeah. Look. They had Robert Downey Jr. I was in an apartment in Long Beach. It was all this noise and activity, right? It was like he done fell asleep in the alleyway in his car with like 7.5 grams of crack on his lap. They took him to first thing they take him to Betty Ford. Because first thing we were saying, oh, he going to prison.
Yeah, it's a wrap. You know, they got him. They got him. Look at what they did when they caught him. They swept them little drugs up in their little bag, put it away. Come on, Robert, get up, man, get up, man. We can go to the hospital.
They got the best. That's
it's
why
their
friend. The White House.
That's their friend, man. That's Officer Timpson to them. Listen to us.
Yeah. One of our guys said that we don't cooperate with the police. I want anybody who's white, my neighbors,
please,
that we are instigating the police, because I'm gonna let you know when the police stops us. Everybody in my car has always been attentive. We like, okay, because we don't know how this is gonna go.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
And don't throw nothing under my seat. Don't throw nothing under my seat.
Don't make no movement.
Don't throw nothing under my seat.
When the police come, I have my hands hanging out the window.
Look, so hanging out the window, and
you want to retrieve your license, dude? My license number is this and that. Run it through. and stuff because I don't trust you. But some of our neighbors think that the 600 unarmed murders has occurred from basic traffic stops since 2017 is all those people's fault.
No.
But we turn the other cheek.
We turn the other cheek when we shouldn't be turning the other cheek.
I was gonna say people turn the other cheek when it don't apply to them.
When it don't hit their doorstep.
When it don't apply to them, they can turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
But when it hit home,
but
to be honest, I can't even stun about it. I can't expect nobody else to treat us no different when we don't treat each other no different.
Now I'm gonna get to that part. Real. That's why I said it first starts with us. Who's the leader of ourselves?
Yeah.
Okay, as individually, it's for responsible individuals right here on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Since nobody think I'm playing, I'm gonna share something with you. I'm glad you came in, Hank. And so I gotta share this with you.
Come on, let's go
for real. We waited for you to come in.
Hank, be ready.
I'm on, man. I'm on.
Why he doing that, Hank? I saw your video. I loved it.
The Jesus Real video?
Yeah.
Thank you. Man, that's where I'm at. That's how far I done came. You know what I mean? And you brought me through a whole lot. And I know it can't be nobody but him. Because I couldn't have did it. I couldn't have put me where I'm at right now. No way. There's no way I could do that. No way.
Hey, I want to add this. I want y'all to check this out of the set. Watch this, man.
A Brooklyn bishop was robbed at gunpoint in the middle of his Sunday sermon today, and it was all caught on camera. The service was being live streamed this morning when he says 3 to 4 men walked in with guns. He spoke at length with CBS 2's Lisa Rosner about why he believes he was targeted and his message for the suspects.
5 to 10 minutes into preaching Sunday morning on Remsen Avenue in Canarsie, Bishop Lamore Whitehead saw the door in the back of the room kick open.
How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die what you were about to go through? Yo. All right. I seen 3 to 4 men come in. That's all right. It's pretty much stating that I'm not going to do anything, right? Because I know y'all coming for me. Y'all coming straight to me. I don't want my parishioners hurt, right? I got women and children there. As I got down, one went to my wife and took all her jewelry and had the gun in front of my 8-month-old baby's face. Took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop's chain, and then I had chains underneath my robe. He started tapping my neck to see if anything else. So that means they knew. They watched and they knew that I had other jewelry.
The church's live stream shows the gun being held on the pastor.
They had the guns on my deacons that was at the door.
Whitehead says what you don't see on camera are around 100 congregants who are in the room. Men, women, and children dropped to the floor in silence.
My church is traumatized. The women and children are still crying. Still crying. Babies are still crying.
Police say the men took off in a white Mercedes. Whitehead says cops have a license plate and witnesses saw the men change clothes outside.
These men, they need to turn themselves in. I forgive you, and I'm praying for you. You know, and I hope that God deliver you from the mindset of who you are at this time.
Whitehead believes his family was targeted because of the publicity he received when he helped turn in the suspect wanted in the fatal subway shooting of 48-year-old Daniel Enriquez in May.
I turned them in, but the media called me the bling bling bishop. They had my Rolls Royce car all over everywhere, and I feel that played the part in this. I think all pastors should be able to get permits for pistols.
The NYPD is investigating, and Whitehead says the mayor and top police brass have called him, pledging support to find the suspects. Fortunately, no one was hurt. In Canarsie, Brooklyn, Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
In a statement, a spokesperson for Mayor Adams said, quote, "No one in this city should be the victim of an armed robbery, let alone our faith leaders and congregants worshiping in a house of God. The NYPD is investigating this crime."
Oh, the bling pastor, huh?
He had
the bling.
$1 million
Got your shit bling. That's what happened. But I mean, and it shouldn't happen, but come on, man, you can't be walking around and on live streaming with all this gold and all this, and you pulling up in Rolls Royces. What you think gonna happen, man? Come on, man. Niggas out here starving now. Is it right? No, not at all.
It's not at all. But you know, what gets me when I heard him say he getting this Rolls Royce and all that. You're going through the neighborhoods,
right?
It looked like it was poor folks around him, and you the only one shining.
You the only one shining.
See, I think about like what Attila the Hun told that one village. They was going to Attila the Hun would tackle villages that would be persecuting their own villagers. Mm-hmm. And this one village Attila the Hun heard of, and he got there, and the leader of the village was like, "Hey, in the name of God, please spare us." And he said, "How do you know I'm not the vengeance of God? I'm not the wrath of God. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't so." Mm-hmm. You see, I look at it like, here's 100 parishioners. Somebody in that church knew. That's the first lady. Somebody knew who his wife was.
It looked staged, though. It looked too staged. How was he looking? The way he was down on the ground, but the person in the back wasn't scared, wasn't moving, wasn't doing nothing. It looked like it was staged.
Hmm. But what gets me is that you done got all the publicity. You turned in the guy for the subway shoot. Now you sit up here and you probably walking around like I was looking at him. It remind me of Roger from What's Happening.
Yeah, he did.
Right. Yeah. You know, you D. You know, but it to me, for one, is why are you wearing all this gold and your woman got all these diamonds and everything and everybody? They didn't rob nobody else in the church.
$1 million worth of jewelry on your neck to go.
Come on,
man. $1 million worth of jewelry. God has been so
and
good.
Real talk, why you even possess that kind of money if you're supposed to be out helping the people? Why you got that kind of money?
Well, you know, it's hard to be where we tell people with bank like a rapper or something, you become wealthy. You can't go back to your old neighborhood. Only way you're going to be able to help anybody, only way you're going to be able to help somebody is bring them like-minded. I can't go back. I'm not saying I can't go to the neighborhood, but there's nothing that's attracting me there because I worked myself to get up out of the neighborhood. Sometimes we want to get it back in the bucket and try to push people up, but you got to be on the ledge and be safe for yourself and try to pull people. The Lord ain't never told you to push no one. He said, pull them.
And that's the only ones when you pulling them, the only ones that won't help because they reaching up to help.
There you go.
So they want some help. So that's how you do that. You might be pushing somebody that's trying to stay down. They ain't trying to go nowhere. So they
God said, turn yourself. What the guy say? Hey, turn yourself in. But I forgave you. If you forgave me, you don't have to worry about me turning myself in. I'm about to start this business. What should have been done? You got $1 million on your neck, but
on your neck.
No company started.
That's ridiculous.
But what about the people that's in church? What about his parishioners? What you know people in your thing that are starving, don't have to live and stuff, and then you come to service and you getting their tithes and offering. And then you want to come and bring with you and your wife. That's toe up.
Hey, look, isn't it one of them? He's like, hey, I got the $1 million in chain. Let me show you what God is doing for me. If you ain't wearing all these chains, you not
ain't doing it for you.
You need to get like me.
And I'm gonna say this, man. God is in control of everything, and so a lot of times you reap what you sow.
Think about it though. They try to make us always look at slavery. But who's been taking monies and making monies off your back without having to pay anything?
The church.
They got $7.3 billion 2 years ago. Did you have any church members call you and say, hey, we miss you? They got that $7.3 billion. I keep asking why. Some people had, well, they got to pay their people who work in the church. How did they get by before? Ain't nobody told you to be in here every day. You better get you a job and then come by. $7.3 billion of taxpayers' monies. Well, it gets me. I got my check stub Friday. I said, why the government taking all this money from me? When you sit up here and Ukraine gets $500 million in cash with nobody to authorize the right, what they need the money for, they run it over this way. Why are we giving them more money? Is that why we looking for Hunter Biden's laptop? Because he's been over there with them illegal trades. Why we don't ever call out this? Because guess what, y'all? Turning the other cheek is when we didn't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It will bother me is I told somebody, they was like, oh, we going to protest about Mr. George Floyd. It was very bad that he went through that, for real. But I seen the same scenarios right there on my street. And we bypass that to go to a major one that you didn't even know the person to protest.
Yeah.
How many people you seen to get arrested and we didn't stop it one time?
Yeah.
I done said something to this guy. I was like, man, what did he do? And the police told me, hey, back up before we arrest you for invading and messing with police activities. When did that become a law?
They if it wasn't a law, they was gonna make one that day just for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, just because you was there, they gonna go make one right now.
For real.
That's what they will do.
Stop the police here, stop me and my party. Talking about it was two guys supposed to be bald headed. They said it was two black guys bald headed.
Listen, man.
So one of the homies was walking down the street. He said, man, Roy's a good people, man. Roy Anthony. You know what they did to him? They put him in handcuffs up there obstructing police business. Come on, man.
Justice.
But guess what? So all of a sudden we started beating them up. Next thing you know, it's all on the news. Oh, they terrorized the police. Man, let me tell you something. Let me say this again. Despite Thomas Jefferson, he made quotes. One, if this government fails us, that's in the Declaration of Independence. Two, tyranny. If you fear the government, that is considered tyranny. If the government fears you, that's called liberation. Some people wave it off like this. Oh man, don't pay attention to that. My uncles and them was true Black Panthers. They took over the Compton. You know what's got me is when I seen the veterans who go over there and they go on to fight, not knowing if they're going to return back with their life. But yet, I know guys who's tough in the streets. This is my neighborhood. They claim and whatever. But as soon as something goes down, I've seen two cops rusting up a dude, and everybody was in a big old group, and they were scared to go fight for that dude. I ain't telling nobody put their lives on the line. But one of the things I can't stand is when we get the public, when they put the Black Lives Matter. The analogy was understanding because all these young folks, like when the young dude down in Florida visiting his dad walking with some Skittles, he gets shot. For what reason? So we turn to say Black Lives Matter. All lives matters, but then they take the ones who come up with it, take it, and now they bought $9.6 million. How does that help? We don't feel no justification unless Benjamin Crump shows up. Mr. Al Sharpton's getting elderly. Used to be with him. Now we see Benjamin Crump, and you're like, oh. And his caseload is deep. I checked him out. I went to look him up. Benjamin Crump his caseload is deep. if you in a state and he's not legal there, he's going to file his law stuff and pass whatever works so he can just come help. And I'm like, why that one person? We got more millionaires and billionaires in the. Okay, I'm not on my whites. I constantly kind of bring it back home, just like we was talking about our kids.
Mm-hmm.
In our society, in the past 10 years, we got more blacks that are millionaires and billionaires in all the history of the U.S. But yet, blacks are still the low-income form in America. How is that?
Everybody for themselves. They've been
There
taught
you go.
to only take care of myself. I'm only looking out for my people. And that means in their family, so it don't generate to the other families that actually need your help. And that's the problem with people.
He said, you like Cletus Clump, laughing like, brother, this BM deal is so twisted compared to what it was when the movement started. See, Carl Lewis right. See, it was just another propaganda of something that they could make funds with. And I do like when they use people's lives to make a profit. You work on someone's sympathy.
Yep.
To get profit.
Or get paid.
And that ain't nothing new, yo.
You got people out here holding BLM, going to jail and stuff like that, and you could buy a $9.6 million house.
Right.
It made it now say, they made it sound, oh, that's bad. I'm going to tell you something. I learned, if y'all can watch Richie King's show today. I was watching the show last week, and they explained about the Roe versus Wade, the abortion thing. And Red, he said it was some fat white woman who tried to say some black dude raped her. And he said, ain't no black dude mess with her. And she found out she wasn't even pregnant. But just to know that, you know, in that time of society, there used to be a time when some white women would yell out, this black man raped me, and he was getting killed. You ever seen the movie In the Heat of the Night?
Yeah.
They don't even want to rationalize with you.
You were speaking on the BLM deal, but that just confirms what I was talking about, is how they got the laws and the rules and the regulations set up, so that they can win. No way we would have, even if we would have came up with the BLM deal, we wouldn't have went and got we would have known to stack up 9.6, put it in some kind of form, and what are those non-profit deals and all? You know what I mean? Come on, man. We don't know all that. At least not yet. I don't know all that kind of stuff.
Non-profit that you don't supposed to be making a profit. You want to be trying to help. I can understand you pay your Edison bill, but what you doing a new car?
Come on, man. Come on. That part.
Some of the churches is doing that. Be taking money for 100 years, and we sitting up here. What? I was right across the street. I used to be over in South Central. Man, I like money. I don't love money. I like enough where I can pay myself and do the things I want to do. The love of money is the root of all evil. Some people believe in the church that if you have a lot of money, that's a lie. How can we make up 13.5% of the U.S. and we sit up here and we got Ice Cube, we got Snoop, we got LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, we got the football players, all this. How in the world do we have all this? And you tell me that we are still the lower income of any of the races. I'm paying all this money. Some lady, I paid $150 to go see TD Jakes. Why? Why would I pay that? Oh, but I'm the wrong one. When I seen the churches that went to go honor a man who wore a dress. When I was a kid, that seemed like it used to be frowned upon. We don't even want to call the man by his name, Mr. Tyler Perry. We want to say Medea.
Right.
Got church people talking about that. I never heard Medea quote the scriptures correct. Right. I felt as a character. Well, look how God blessed him. Blessed with what? The money, that's part of his destiny. It doesn't make me, hey, Big Hank, you want to be a millionaire? You know they got where you
dress.
dress. You're gonna have Big Hank with a big old dress and the big old
Look at his facial expression.
Hank is. We're about to make $1 billion, Hank. We just need you to wear a big old dress with big old boobies.
I see it in yellow.
You got to wear some of them old nurses' shoes.
I've been doing comedy since 2013, and I see a lot of cats that do the little gay jokes and be all snapping their fingers. I still haven't done that one yet. I still haven't done a hey. I still ain't did none of that.
I can't see you over there like.
It'd be like your big gay ass got to wear size 13 shoes, big funny hand, long. I couldn't even do it. But hey, I can't even know. I can't.
Hey man, that was his brother though. His joker man. I'm like, no. His name was Roselle or something. Man, this joker was. I mean, he like Kimbo Slice. He was big, and he'd be like this. Hi, Roy. He's like, okay. We used to work together. So I had to pick up these strawberries. They were like 100 pounds in the thing, and I was struggling with one of them trying to get it. He was like, "Let me help you." Picked him up. He's like, "There we go." And I was like, "Yeah, thank you." Yeah, appreciate that.
Strong ass man, girl.
But wait a minute. But that's what the churches did. How is it that remember how we was talking about, I'm gonna ask this question, Big Hank, Joy, Mrs. Willette, when's the last time you bought a rap album?
It's been a long time, man, but I listen to rap. I'm talking
about you went and bought an album.
You ain't got to. You ain't got to now. You could just get on the internet and play it. You ain't got to have it. You ain't got to have it.
YouTube and all that. Did you ever
in the 90s?
Yeah. But I don't know. Albums played. I used to buy the cassettes though. I bought a bunch of cassettes though. I had all that.
CDs. I'm talking about the CDs. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I had CDs. Bunch of CDs.
I bought bootlegs. I never really bought the.
I tried. I bought a lot of bootlegs, but the cats who I like the Tupacs and the Biggies, I used to buy the real deal, so I could, had a real deal.
See, you're exceptional. I think the last album I bought was Dre's 2001, and other than that, I don't think we have made rappers rich. I was listening to this dude's video.
No, we definitely
white guy videos. The whitest one who makes the rappers rich.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna show that video Thursday. The guy breaks it down. He's a white guy, and he said, "Man, we would buy the music because it's talking about them murdering." He said that they would play the music, be bumping it until they come up to an intersection and see some other blacks, so they'd turn the music down because they said they know that them blacks is about that life for real.
Well, they'll tell you, even the artists will tell you that they don't really get no money until you cross over. That's when you get your bread. When the white people start listening to you, that's with Snoop and all and Ice Cube, that's when they start getting their bread.
Yeah,
but see, some of these other ones, like I didn't know nothing about this dude, 69, whatever, what's his name? Who had
that
99 or whatever. He had his hair all colorful, and it was supposed to be all this blood thing. And I was like, "Who is the dude? I never heard the songs."
He was a pretender. He was a pretender. He still is a pretender. He ain't really no gangster because he told on all them niggas. You hear me? They say we finna give you some time. You're like, "No, man, Killer Mac and Doody Doo and Gangster BM and Little Lamb, all them niggas they did it.
Little Lamb.
All them niggas did it. All them niggas did it.
Little Lamb.
Niggas told on everybody. Big Boo Boo, all them niggas they did it. It wasn't me. I wasn't the one. He told on
no. And the thing is, we constantly looking at, oh, look what they doing, look what the whites did to us. Look, I'm looking at, man, even in my neighborhood, when that crack came out, I seen true colors. I seen guys turn their family members into crackheads. Now we back to, okay, let's say we back to the 70s time when Hollywood was making, we was making all the blaxploitation movies.
Exploitation movies.
No, they called it blaxploitations.
Blaxploitations, that's what they
Yeah,
call it.
the 70s where, you know, Cotton Comes to Harlem and the Watermelon Man, they called it.
I remember all that. I remember all that.
Now, like BET, is ran by Viacom. And so people don't understand why I'm saying this about turn the other cheek. It seems like we have a naturalness of turning our other cheek. We got such a love with God, but we scared to die. My mother raised me that she said, if you want to die for anything, die for the truth.
Man, stand up for something, man.
Stand up for
everything.
Yeah, that's where we went. Many times I was in the streets running with the devil. I didn't have, you know, I couldn't go past the police without looking over my shoulder and trying to hit another corner or something.
Call it rear view mirror driving. And that's how we used to drive. We'd be looking up in the rear view mirror the whole time. Don't even look straight. You could be looking in the rear view mirror the whole time, driving that way. Yeah, rear view mirror drive.
And so then I'm like, okay, hey, we got city commissioners that can. We did a thing on our show about charters. Sometimes we are fighting with the wrong people. Sometimes the police officers are really just puppets. They really don't even know the laws themselves. There's no way you can know the laws where a lawyer takes 12 years of knowing the law and crossing the bar that deals with law compared to someone who just did 4 to 6 months of training and he's supposed to uphold the same law. They get away because the city commissioners and them don't want to change the charters. That's why they can beat you around and say he was resisting me. But you know what? It gets to a point where I'll be asking everyone, when do we stop turning the other cheek? And we got to address the people. We never want to address the ones who's right in our face. The ministers, the people who's running the show. I was telling some people that the Lord keeps showing me that he said, I'm enriching you. And some people's going to come and thinking that they're going to be able to, hey, brother, I want to talk to you. I'm going to tell man, I don't want to hear what you've been doing before you heard about what we're doing.
Right. let's keep it like it was. That's what all you got to say. Let's keep it like it was.
Yeah, I'm going to shock everybody. See, what a lot of people don't know is that I got accepted in 2017 to Hollywood, Columbia College Hollywood, just ran by Hollywood executives to be a real bona fide, I'm using that word, became a real bona fide Hollywood producer.
Real bona fide Hollywood producer.
Everybody shoots movies and stuff on YouTube and all that, but Hollywood brought me in because I have been producing shows. So I got off of it. I have a semester and a half to get my BA degree, and then Hollywood will help. So I told them my scripts and everything. So the quarantine hit, money's going down low, and I was just letting everyone know that I'm about to go back and finish this schooling. Because me, Big Hank, we got some ideas and and I wanted to make sure. Look, Paramount even said, you know, once you do that, we give you a first budget of anything you want to do. Oh, for real? They give me the budget to shoot some things. Right. So I'm doing this. Now, my thing is, why isn't it that, you know, I don't knock a celebrity or something, especially in blacks, that wants to help the kids. But sometimes you can help the parents and the parents going to help the kids. Help me with a job, pay for the junior college. It should be where we got enough rich celebrities that any blacks in a certain school should be able to get free education. Women are doing it. These women are doing it. They raising kids and becoming the degrees. I'm like, okay, homie say, I want to be a rapper. I see more brothers playing the PlayStation games and instead of coming up with their own game. Let's create a game. Let's create a system.
But your son is is it your son that's created the game, or it was
Christina's son. That was Christina's son.
And I just want to bring this up. This is our last week on Facebook. We will not be coming live through Facebook no more, man. They give us problems. Look, they won't even give us all our views. Richie King had someone else to produce the show, one of the shows, and it showed all the viewers. It's something about whoa, and Facebook don't like us at all. They shadow brand our shows. They even had the nerves to take off our old shows. Then people try to get in. You got to be all this and that. You go on YouTube and type in, as long as you got a thing, you feel me? And we're coming live. So Thursday is our last show on the YouTube platform, and I was glad. I'm tired of dealing with Meta, for real. People scared to say something. Mark Zuckerberg, man, I ain't giving no credence to no Mark Zuckerberg. I ain't giving no credence to no governments and stuff. Jesus said, whatever render Caesar, give unto Caesar. I give the government their money because that's their images on it. Other than that, I'm not tripping on none of them cats. It seems like they do the same argument over and over. Then we got somebody coming to the church. Hey, I don't even know why we vote Democrat. We don't know Democrats that got us out. No. And then when I ask this question, what's the difference between a Democrat and Republican? Willette, what's the difference between a Democrat and Republican?
One goes for money, one goes for helping the poor.
They all go for the money. They all go for the money. The difference is that, and I dug this up, and I was shocked. If you by today's subject, we ain't gonna be on long. We're about to get off here. But I was shocked. Guess why?
Why?
Republicans believe that God should be in politics. Democrats feel like it should be socialism. But if you look at the way things act,
yeah, that was back when it first started. They corrupted. They corrupted, homie. They didn't got corrupted because they put Donald Trump. When they put Donald Trump up holding the Bible upside down, you know they corrupted
and hitting all the other people on the background. But see, some people ignore all of that because they look at tax breaks.
Yeah,
I'm about humanitarian. God told me. David said through the word of God, I was young and now I'm old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken or the seed begging for bread.
Mm-hmm.
So why am I worried about a tax break if I ain't even in that tax bracket? Right. One man can't help my household except myself. We have been through, I've been through all types of presidencies. You know, there's one president that I really like. That's going to shock a lot of people. And it's what he did at the end, messed it up. Man, I love me some George W. Bush. Junior, just say, for real, you know why? Man, I was making money. I wasn't going to jail. He was like, get the hardcore ones. George W. Bush, he messed up when he went to go after Iraq. No, but who was complaining about George W. Bush? He was a Republican president. Mm-hmm. For real, if you look back at it and stuff, man, one time this black guy told me, he said, man, you know, the first real black president was Bill Clinton. Mm-hmm. I said, what? You mean the guy from Arkansas? Yeah, well, man, you out your mind, man. The best, I don't know who's black or whatever. Because they always just, if you just got an ounce of black, Kamala Harris just now considering herself black when back in the day, she was Eastern Indian Hindu. That's what she was claiming herself. She was sending all them black guys to prison. For real. So I want to pick this back up too, man, Thursday, about turning the other cheek. That's something that we think about because we do a lot of talking and never the actions. I know Big Hank is acting. Oh man, I want to give an announcement. I paid my tithes today.
Yes, sir.
I did. I followed through. I was the first thing I wanted to do because I've been asking God. I want to be able to give $1 million tithe.
Wow.
For real.
Wow. You know how much money you got to be making to give a tenth. You know how much money you got to be making for your tenth to be $1 million.
Hey, call me Jerry Buss. You know why I say that? They call me Jerry Bush real quick. When they first hired Shaquille O'Neal, they gave Shaquille $100 million, and some guys was telling me, "Man, you gonna give somebody $100 million for playing basketball?" And I said, "Man, y'all concentrate on the wrong thing."
Yeah,
it's the guy who can not only play Shaquille, but pay 14 other players and the whole staff. That's why is it that we used to him? I'm watching Jerry Buss on that show on HBO. He was staying at the Playboy Mansion. He was kicking it. He had an idea. He ran with it too. My thing is, I said, Lord, with me giving $1 million, I know I got 10 million. I might even have, I was gonna say I have 2 million. The Lord said, don't you tell that lie. I was about to say I had 2 million, get that one. I found myself like Ananias and Sapphira and I'm promising one thing.
Mess around and get blown up. Be sitting over there and just get blown up. Boom, what happened to Roy? Oh, that nigga lied. He lied to God. He lied to God.
What had happened was
he lied to God. He lied to God.
Burt Reynolds. Bill Reynolds was in a movie called Alive or something like that. It was funny. So he done got he was way out in the ocean. And he had been talking about he wants to die, but he was way in the ocean and something came to him, so he wanted to live. So he was like, he trying to swim to the shore. He way out there. He said, Lord, if you just let me live, I give everything what I have to help mankind. Yeah. Then the closer he got to that shore, he said, Lord, I give 50%.
I'm gonna give third. I'm just gonna give you a third.
Said, Lord, I'm getting 5%. So he got to that shore, the lesser it went.
Yeah. That's how it goes, man.
Hey, if chance, man, look at Richie King's this afternoon. It's 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. They be having some knowledge and they keep it 100. I was he was doing a music show last night and he said, oh, wait a minute, I forgot. I got to do this like Roy does. What it do? What it do? Now I do it like this. What it do? What it do? What it do? He was like this. What it do? What it do? What it do? I told him
that was his trying to be cool like Roy Anthony's voice.
Man, it made me laugh. I was like, cool. He's like, what it do? Hey, we're gonna be back here. How you doing,
Look
man?
at Joy. Oh,
yeah,
Joy turned into Joy stepped out.
Yeah, stepped out. She about to rob somebody and come back in and be Joy herself. Hey, man, I'm gonna see y'all Thursday. God bless y'all, man.
Willette, it's always good seeing you, Willette.
It's always good to see you, brother Hank, too.
Look, she's smiling more too. Boy, she used to come in with them evil eyes. Now look at it now, just kicking it. All right, y'all. God bless y'all.
All right,
talk to y'all on Thursday.
Peace.
Right. Okay.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The